Welcome to episode 2 of Becoming Bob. I'm Alex, and this is my journey to become more like Bob Ross, primarily by painting along with the joy of painting. In this episode, I'll be painting along with episode 2, series 1 of the joy of painting, and I hope you'll join me as I do my best to keep up with Bob. I had a little trouble keeping up with him in the first episode, which if you haven't seen it, I'd recommend checking out here. And to try and help me focus on painting this time, I'm going to go ahead and do a voiceover for any commentary that I have for this episode. If you haven't seen episode 2 of The Joy of Painting, I'd recommend checking it out here before watching this episode so that you can see just what I'm following along with. I'd like to thank all those who have supported me so far in my Indiegogo campaign, as your support is what's got me here to the second episode. Without your help, I could never have gotten here, and if you'd like to help me get further, then I'd ask that you please visit my Indiegogo campaign through the link in the description below and see how you can help me become Bob. So without further ado, I think I'll get painting. So let's do this. Okay, so like I said in the intro, I will be doing all the commentary in this voiceover. Paying attention and commenting at the same time is really tough. Bob goes really fast and you really have to focus in order to keep up with him. You may have noticed here that I went straight into color. I've added magic white before the episode. Bob did the same thing in The Joy of Painting. I really think that helped. It helped me get it on a lot evener. A better coating over the whole canvas, but not too much. I think the amount of liquid white on there really makes a difference. But you'll see that putting it on before the episode did cause me a little trouble later. Just kind of blending it all in there. The 2-inch brush. Loading up this time with a little extra green to make the water a little greener. I'd really wish I had brought the sky down a little bit lower on the canvas. You'll see later as I do the painting that the sky just doesn't seem to come quite far enough down. And I think in the future that's something I'm going to be a little bit more aware of. There's the trash can there. Fix my earbud again. I'm watching, you can see me looking there at the screen. I'm watching the screen just off camera there. I'm doing my best to follow along. I am watching at real-time speed. And just doing my best to keep up. The audio, of course, coming into me to that earbud there. Using the number 6 fan brush there. First time using a fan brush. Did not hold as much paint as I was expecting, and you can see me reloading it quite a bit here. But I'm just trying to dance it around and really kind of work the paint into the canvas. Kind of distinguish where the tops of the clouds are going to be. Once I have the white on there, I go back in with the 2-inch brush. Fluff it around a little bit. I'd like to go ahead and give a shout out to one of our associate producers, Nathan. Nathan's a really good friend of mine. He's been a good friend of mine for many years, and it's just awesome to see him support Becoming Bob. Not only is he supporting me in my Indiegogo campaign, but he's also had some pretty good ideas for the show. For instance, this voiceover. This was his suggestion, and I think it's a great idea. Thanks, Nate. It really means a lot to have you on my team, and yeah, just thanks. Making a mix now of the Prussian blue, Van Dyke brown, alizarin crimson, and a little sap green. Trying to mix it up, but not mix it completely up. And here we go. My very first mountain, which in this case is Mount McKinley. Well, it's supposed to be anyways. Bob does Mount McKinley. I do my best. Alright, back to the palette knife. I'm mixing up some white and some blue. A little bit of brown too. I was saying earlier that doing the magic white beforehand kind of was a problem in this episode, and what had happened is that I put on the magic white and then I set down the container outside of arm's reach, only to realize once I got started that you need to have that magic white in order to thin out your colors to make them stick better in the higher layers. And so for this painting I did it without having that magic white. Trying to get plenty of shadow in there because every light spot needs to have some shadow in order to really pop and have that three-dimensional appearance. Going back in with the 2-inch brush, adding some mist at the base of the mountain there. You'll notice I stick my tongue out a lot when I'm concentrating. There's nothing I can do to not do that. It's funny, when you're really close up like this to the canvas, everything looks a lot different. Things look bigger, things look messier. You can't see the effect as well. One of the issues I had with the knife is, especially when putting on the snow, is I'd go in with a nice thing with some white in there, start putting the white on, and pick up a bunch of black, which I then would take back to the palette and muddle up the rest of the white with. Fortunately, muddling colors is kind of the idea with some of this technique. By not mixing colors completely, you get the streaks, you get the kind of effects you're going for. It adds a lot of complexity without adding a whole lot of work. Got the 1-inch brush there. Starting to add in some dark stuff for some trees way off in the distance. Mix with some phthalo green, some of the Prussian blue and the crimson and sap green, Van Dyke brown mix. There's the 2-inch, putting in some reflections. Mixing up some more colors there. This time a nice dark green, dark green, which I'll then load up on my fan brush there. And it's time to start some evergreen trees. And now here's a big one on this side. Let's give him a friend here. And now it's time to add lots of dark color as fast as I can, because I'm trying to catch up with Bob. And some more reflections. Now the two cameras I used for this are both cell phones. My cell phone being a Samsung Galaxy 6 and my wife's Google Pixel. I think it's a Pixel 2 maybe. But either way, making the most of the resources I have available. And that's the idea behind the Indiegogo campaign too, really, is to maybe get some nicer resources to make some better results. And filling in space as fast as I can. This video has not been sped up in any way. I am just filling in space as fast as possible. I've got the fan brush and I'm getting some highlight color on that one. Some nice yellowish green color. And going in and adding some light, some highlights to these evergreen trees here. And I'm doing my best to keep the highlights that I'm putting on there on the right side for where the light's coming from, which, being that it's kind of top and center on this painting, that means on the right side of the trees on the left side and on the left side of the trees on the right side. And back in with my 1-inch highlighter. Mix up a little bit more color. Lots and lots of highlighting to do at this point, so I'm trying to go pretty quick. Just doing my best to cut in a little bank there. Yeah, you can see I was going to try and scrape some of that paint off. I decided not to. I'm glad I didn't. It probably would have smeared and looked really bad. Just looking over it here. And you know, that's not too bad. So, I think I'm going to call this a completed painting. Go ahead and get my script liner there and some linseed oil, mix it in with my permanent red for my signature. Thanks a lot for watching. This is episode 2 of Becoming Bob. I'm Alex, and I hope you enjoyed watching this as much as I enjoyed making it. If you really liked it, like and subscribe to the page here on YouTube for upcoming videos. There's going to be at least 2 more of these episodes coming, thanks to my Indiegogo contributors. And if you really want to help, you should become an Indiegogo contributor too. The link's in the description below, and any help you can give is much appreciated. I couldn't have gotten this far without the help I've gotten from Indiegogo, and any help from you would just get me that much further. So thanks for watching, and have a great day.